everybody. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. This is Jamie Naftali on the Pediatric World. That is the name of my channel, and it's all about kids' welfare, medical problems, and we try finding solutions. I welcome you, all of you. Those who haven't subscribed, please hit on the subscription button, subscribe, so that you may become part of this wonderful family. I welcome you to today's episode, and we are continuing on rational use of medications in children, the best ways, and we also did the irrational, the opposite of rational use of medications in children. So if drugs are well used, just to go to tell you what we mean, to remind you, if drugs are well used, that is rational use of medications. If they are wrongly used, incorrectly used, that is irrational use of medication. So in today's episode, we are continuing and we are going to do the drug absorption in children. How are drugs absorbed in children? How is it different from the adults? So I will start by saying that oral and IV drugs, the intravenous, remember the IV, the intravenous through the vein. So the orals and the IV drugs are absorbed similarly with the adults. The absorption is very, very similar. But remember the statement we said? Let's remember all that children are not small adults. We said that before. And the difference in absorption is that they handle medications, the drugs, differently from the adults. In as much as the absorption is the same, they handle drugs differently. Their bodies handles drugs differently from adults. So how they handle drugs and also the response, how they respond, the drugs respond is what is different. I hope this is so clear. Medical errors occur in both adults and children. Another statement, medical errors occur in both adults and children. But for children, the errors are more serious. Imagine the errors, for children, the errors occur 3 times more. It occurs 3 times more than the adults. So if the error was 1 in adult, it will be more 3 more times in children. That is why we have to be very, very clear and very, very careful here, because we do not want these errors, and eventually we go on getting severe side effects and many dangerous problems. So that is it. The exception, how again do children and adults differ? So in children, there is increased oral absorption. There is increased oral absorption of penicillins and antibiotics. So in children, the antibiotic absorption is increased. Another difference than in adults is that there is reduced oral absorption of some drugs. Those drugs used in convulsions. Remember our convulsions? If you haven't watched, please, I refer you to the previous episodes on convulsions in children. So these drugs like phenobarbital, remember our second line in treatment of convulsions, also phenytoin. So these anticonvulsants, there is reduced oral absorption than in adults. So another point to note, exception in children, is that absorption from the IM is erratic and toxic. Remember, the IM is through the muscle, not through the vein now, through the muscle. And mostly in children, we use the thighs or the gluteal muscle. The ano, the behind is what we call the gluteal muscle. So the IM is, to most drugs, is very erratic and toxic. Hence, we should avoid use of IM in some drugs like, for example, diazepam. Remember the diazepam again as an anticonvulsant. Please get back to those episodes on convulsions if you haven't. So the diazepam, our first line drug in treatment of convulsions, is it is contraindicated to use it through IM, intramuscular. So we should be very careful. We are saying they are erratic and very toxic. We should be very careful. Another point, exception, is that percutaneous absorption, this is through the skin, the percutaneous absorption in children is enhanced, and especially in infants. Remember, the infants are the very, very small kids, so their skin is absorption is very much enhanced. It is very okay. The drugs are well absorbed through their skins, and the reason why it is because they have got better hydration of the skin. So their skin is very, very well hydrated. That is why absorption through the skin, drug absorption through the skin is it is very, very well enhanced. So I hope this is clear. On the other hand, because of this, again, we should be very careful, because also their skins are very thin. Also for these small babies, the skins are very thin. They are thinner. Therefore, be very careful with those drugs that may cause most dangerous side effects. And the examples here are steroids. Steroids, the NSAIDs, the non-steroidal inflammatory drugs, they are very, very dangerous. They have very dangerous side effects. So because their skins are thin and the skin absorption is enhanced, we should be very, very careful so that the kids do not get into contact with those steroids. I hope this is very, very clear. Another point to note is that rectal route is through the anus. We call them suppository drugs through the behind. The rectal route is very good again in infants, in these small babies. It's very good to those children, to babies, the infants, and children who cannot tolerate oral medication. So when you give through the anal canal, it is very well absorbed. And this example again is diazepam, again the anticonvulsant, the first line drug, and also the paracetamol. I'm sure mothers, you have come across those paracetamol suppository. We call it PCM suppository through the anus. It is very, very well, it is very enhanced. So if it's in case of high fevers, hotness of the body, very high fevers, the suppository, the paracetamol that we give through the anal canal, the suppository, really works best. It works even fast and brings these fevers down very fast. Also the same we are saying with drugs like diazepam, the first line drug in treatment of convulsions. Remember, we talked about that. So in general, my friends, what we are saying here is that absorption is it is the same as adults, that how the drugs respond and how the body handles the drugs in the body, and also the response is what is different from adults. I hope this is very, very clear. And we have said in conclusion that if I may say is that percutaneous absorption, through the skin, and also anal, the rectal drugs, these are very, very good and well tolerated routes when it comes to drug absorption in children. We have said all that. I hope this is very, very clear. And remember, we are still on the rational use of medications. So this is how drugs are absorbed, how the bodies of these children respond to these drugs, how they absorb the drugs into the bodies. I hope you all are together with me. This is it, my people. We are going to go bit by bit until people understand. This channel wants to include everybody into the management of these children, how the common illnesses affecting children when they are growing up. So be part of it by subscribing. Hit on the subscribe button, and also remember to leave a comment down below. Please comment about these videos. Comment on any topic you'd love us to tackle. You are very, very much welcome. Again, turn on your notifications so that you are among the first people to know every time I post a new video. Thank you, my people. Till next time.